Good afternoon, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
All right, let us start then. Let us quickly revise what we did yesterday. So we talked about registration, okay, who all need to get registered, that we saw, and then we started with the concept of time of supply. Okay, that's the two things we did, right? So you guys tell me, for registration we saw two categories, right? So category one, what was the category one of registration? When person is dealing exclusively in goods, right? And the category two, what was that? When person is dealing in, tell me.
Exclusively services, or if the person is providing both.
Correct, dealing in services or both goods and services. Both goods and services. These were the two categories, right? Now, in any case, in category one, we see where is the place of business. We see where is the place of business, right? Number one, if place of business is in POB is in which four states?
Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, and Nagaland.
Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, and Nagaland. Manipur and Nagaland. Then registration is compulsory if turnover exceeds what limit?
10 lakhs.
10 lakhs. Then registration is compulsory. Okay. Second, what is the second category of states over here? If place of business is in, what were the 6 states?
Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Uttarakhand, Pondicherry, and Telangana.
Okay, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim, then Pondicherry, Telangana, and what remains? Uttarakhand, right? Uttarakhand. If your place of business is in these 6 states, then registration is compulsory if the turnover exceeds 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs, right? And the third was rest of India. Rest of India, registration is compulsory if turnover exceeds 40 lakhs. So if place of business, if place of business is in the rest of India, and if turnover is 40 lakhs, registration is compulsory. And then we saw for ice cream, edibles, right? Ice creams, edible ice, pan masala and tobacco. Pan masala and tobacco. If turnover exceeds, what was the limit?
20 lakhs.
20
if turnover
lakhs.
exceeds 20 lakhs.
Correct. 20 lakhs, then registration is compulsory. So that were the four types in your first category where the person is dealing exclusively in goods. We see the place of business. As per the place of business, we see the turnover. If turnover exceeds that threshold limit, this limit is called as a threshold limit. Correct. And then registration will be compulsory. And in this case, in both cases, what do I mean by turnover? Turnover means all kind of sales, all kind of taxable sales, okay, whether head office, branch, showroom, etc. Okay, so I'll take all kind of taxable sales and I will calculate. This was the first category for registration, right? Now the second category is simple. When the person is dealing in services or both goods and services, we again check the place of business. If the place of business, only two categories over here. What were those?
So first one is the 4 states, that is
Correct.
Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura.
Correct. If place of business is in the 4 less developed states, what will happen? Turnover exceeds 10 lakhs, registration is compulsory. Registration is compulsory. And then B category was what? Rest of India. Rest of India turnover is more than 20 lakhs. Then registration is compulsory. Correct? So here there were 4 subcategories. Here only there are 2 subcategories. In all these cases, registration will be compulsory if the turnover exceeds a prescribed threshold limit. And for turnover, I'll take sales all over India, right? But what if the company, if the company is making sale from one state to another state, now what happens? That is interstate sale. What is the threshold limit?
So no threshold limit.
Correct. Registration is compulsory even if a single rupee is sold. Registration is always compulsory. We'll say registration is always compulsory. Okay, there is no threshold limit. There is no threshold limit. All right, this is what we had done in registration yesterday. I hope everyone remembers this. Okay, see, these limits are logical. These limits are logical. Less developed states, limit is less. Developing states, limit is more. And developed states, rest of India, limit is the highest. Okay. So if you read 2-3 times, you will learn it. You will be able to learn it. All right. So that was the concept of registration. Okay. Then once we saw registration, we'll see registration again today in detail. The other concepts of registration we'll see today in detail. All right. Okay. So now once we know about registration, we know who is a registered supplier. Then we go for time of supply. That is what we started yesterday, time of supply. Okay. So time of supply depends in case of forward charge, and it will differ in case of reverse charge. Okay. So we had started with forward charge. What is the difference between forward charge and reverse charge?
So
Yes.
in the forward charge, the supplier collects the tax from the customer and pays it to the government.
Correct. Supplier is registered, right? And the customer can be registered or unregistered, doesn't matter. Okay. So here what happens? Supplier collects GST from customer and pays it to the government. Okay. And in case of reverse charge, supplier is unregistered. That's the problem. And customer is registered. Right? So customer pays GST directly to the government. That was our reverse charge. And if both of them are unregistered, then customer and supplier,
No GST.
No GST.
correct. Customer and supplier both are unregistered, then no concept of GST. All right, done. So we are looking at time of supply. Why time of supply was important? Because the time of supply decides the rate of supply. The time and the month of supply will decide the rate of supply. That's why we are focusing on time of supply. Okay, the doubt is, sir, is forward charge and normal charge terminology same? Yes, normal charge and forward charge is same. It's same. All right. So now in forward charge, we see, so this was 1, right? This was number 1. This was number 2. Okay. In forward charge, we subcategorize this as 1A and 1B. 1A and 1B. 1A was what? Time of supply in case of goods, right? Time of supply in case of goods. Right? And this was time of supply in case of services. All right. So now time of supply in case of goods, it will be, time of supply will be what? You guys tell me now. Time of supply is earliest of Earliest of which 3 dates?
The issue of invoice.
Right. Issue of invoice, that is one date. Then
And the date the supplier's bank account was credited.
correct. Date of credit of bank account of the supplier. And third,
So when he recorded it in the books of accounts.
correct. Date on which supplier recorded the transaction. These 3 dates, whichever is the earliest date, that will be my time of supply, and the rate in that, the rate on that date, we will take it as GST rate. Okay. Now, time of supply in case of services. Before we look at services, is there any rule for this? Is there any rule for time of supply in case of service?
So within 30 days of provision of service, invoice has to be issued.
Correct. Invoice has to be issued within 30 days of provision of service, right? That's why if provision of service is not within 30 days, the rule will change. And if the provision of service is within 30 days, the rule will change, right? So here we see if invoice issued within 30 days of service, and here we see if invoice is issued after 30 days of service, right? So first case, we don't need to worry. First case is same as goods, right? So here time of supply is again same, is the earliest of the same 3 dates. Time of supply is the earliest of same 3 dates, no? These 3. Time of supply is earliest of same 3 dates. Issue of invoice, date of credit of bank account, and date on which supplier recorded. Okay. But if invoice is issued after 30 days, then what changes, guys? Tell me what changes.
So only the first point. It becomes
Only
a
the
date of
first point
provision
will
of
change,
service.
correct? Only the first point will change. Instead of issue of invoice, which date do we take?
Date of provision of service.
Date of provision of service. That's it. Okay. So this was the whole concept of time of supply in case of forward charge. Forward charge is also called as normal charge. If this clear, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let us take an example. Let us take an example. So this is what we did yesterday. This is what we have done yesterday. Now let us take an example. Okay. Mr. A has supplied goods to Mr. B. So Mr. A registered dealer, has supplied goods to Mr. B, also a registered dealer, also a registered person. Okay, both are registered. So can I say it is a normal charge? Supplier has to be registered. In normal charge, supplier has to be registered. So Mr. A registered dealer, has supplied goods to Mr. B, also a registered person, on 5th June 2022. Okay. Invoice was issued exactly after, invoice was issued exactly on 31st day, on the 31st day, issued exactly on the 31st day after goods were sold. Okay. The payment was made by Mr. B, on 9th July 2022. Okay. Mr. A recorded this in his books of accounts, on 10th July, and the actual amount was credited to Mr. A's bank account, on 12th July. On 12th July. Okay. What is the time of supply? What is the time of supply? Give me the exact date. Give me the exact date. Okay, we already have an answer. We already have an answer. Okay, we are already getting answers. Good, good, correct. So in this case, which category does it fall under? 1A, 1B1 or 1B2?
One
One what? A or B?
A.
A na, 1A na, because it is goods. It is supply of goods. So in case of supply of goods, that criteria of 30 days does not matter, right? That criteria of 30 days does not matter. I take time of supply is earliest of the following. Time of supply is earliest of the following. Number one, date of issue of invoice. What is the date of issue of invoice over here, guys? Tell me. 6 July 2022, exactly on the 31st day. After 5th June, 30 days is 6th June, right? And 31st day is 6th July. Second is date of credit of account. Account was credited on which date? 12th July. 12th July. And number three, date of recording in books. Date of recording in books was what? 10th July. 10th July, right? So earliest of the following. So time of supply in this case is 6th July. Time of supply is 6th July. So whatever rate is applicable on 6th July, okay, at that rate, Mr. A will collect GST from Mr. B and pay it to the government. See if this is clear. Simple concept. Yes or no?
Sir, but the invoice should be issued within 30 days.
No, that criteria is only for services, na?
Acha, okay.
That criteria, that's why I purposefully gave this example. That invoice should be issued within 30 days. That criteria is only for service. Okay, it is not for goods. Huh? It is not for goods. Okay, done. Clear? This example is clear now, everyone. This is what you can expect. Huh? This is what you guys can expect in the exam. This type of examples. 2 marks. 2 marks example. All right, next. Let us do the next one now. Mr. A or Mr. X provided services to Mr. Y on 14th, let us say May, 14th May 2022. Okay. The invoice was issued on 19th June 2022. Invoice issued on 19th June 2022. Okay. Mr. Y issued a check to Mr. X on 5th June. All right. And the amount was credited to Mr. X's account on 8th June, and on same date Mr. X recorded it in his books of accounts. What is the time of supply? Tell me. Is it goods or is it services now in this case? Services. Now is the invoice issued now the criteria comes, huh? That invoice should be issued within 30 days. Is the invoice issued within 30 days?
No.
No, because 14th May was provision of service. 14th May was provision of service. 19th June was the issue of invoice. In case of services, what is the criteria? Invoice should be issued within 30 days. Okay. Here invoice was issued after 30 days of provision of service. Correct. So time of supply will be earliest of. Now which 3 dates will take, guys? Date of
Provision of
service, right? Then date of account credit, date of credit of account, and date of recording. So what is the date of provision of service now? 14th May. Correct. Check has been given on 5th June, but it was received on 8th June and recorded also on 8th June. So I'll compare directly between 14th May and 8th June. Okay, so 14th May will be my time of supply. So Mr. X will take the rate of 14th May, and at that rate, Mr. X will collect GST from Mr. Y and pay it to the government. Understood? Yes or no? So in case of service, you guys have to be careful, whether invoice was issued within what 30 days or not. Now it's clear than yesterday, because we had just started with time of supply. I hope this is better now, better understanding now. Let us do one more question. All right. Now I will give one question. Think about this properly and give me the answer. Alpha PLC, Alpha Limited, has provided services to Beta Limited worth 100,000 rupees on, let us say, 7th March 2022. Okay. The invoice was issued on 3rd April 2022. Okay. Then Beta Limited has made payment in 2 installments. Okay. First installment of 45,000 was paid on let us say, what date should I take? 20th March. Okay. By what I'll say, directly crediting in bank account. Okay. Alpha PLC recorded it on the same date. Second installment of how much was remaining? Rupees 55,000 paid on 6th April by a check which was credited on 8th April and recorded by Alpha on the same date, on 8th April. What is the time of supply? Okay, we are already getting answers. All right. Only one time of supply, or will there be 2 time of supplies? When there is installment payment, calculate time of supply for each installment, guys. That's why I gave this question, na. Payment dates are different, invoice dates are different. First installment, time of supply will be different. Correct. And second installment, time of supply will be different. All right, let us check them. So this is how time of supply questions can get complicated, huh? So here what I'll say, in this case, the company, that is Beta PLC, Beta Limited, has made the payment in 2 installments, right? In 2 installments. Okay. So first installment of 45,000, time of supply will be earliest of, time of supply is earliest of 3 dates. Now first thing, guys, has the company issued the invoice within 30 days? Alpha Limited has issued the invoice within how many days? Within 30 days or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Alpha Limited has issued the invoice within 30 days. Okay. But in this case, Beta Limited has made the payment in 2 installments. So first installment of 45,000, time of supply is earliest of issue of invoice, right? So I can just write invoice date right now. I'll not write in detail. So invoice date, okay. Then credit date and books of accounts date, right? I'm just taking the same dates, but I'm just writing it in short form. What was the invoice date? 3rd April. Invoice date was 3rd April. What was the payment? Credit date and books of account date is same, na? 20th March. It's same, right? Because it was directly deposited, directly credited through net banking, right? So time of supply in first case, time of supply will be what? Time of supply will be
20th
March. Okay. And then for second installment, time of supply is earliest of same dates, because invoice is still issued within 30 days, right? So invoice date, credit date, or books of accounts date, right? So invoice date is still 3rd April. Okay. But in the second installment, credit date was how much?
8th April.
8th April, na? 8th April. Date of giving the check is not important. Date of getting it deposited in my account is important. So invoice date is earliest of these 3. So in this case, time of supply will be what? Time of supply will be 3rd April. Time of supply will be 3rd April. Okay. So 45,000 will be attracting the GST rate of 20th March. And the second installment of 55,000 will be attracting a GST rate of 3rd April. The rates can be different. So you don't need to worry about the rates. Rates will be given in the exam. Okay, rates will be given in the exam. See if everything is clear till here.
Yes, sir.
No problem in time of supply, normal charge. This is very important. This can be there in your MCQs also, and it can be there in your subjective practical questions also. It can be there for both. So we have seen all 3 cases. In case of goods, doesn't matter when the invoice is issued. Always the answer will be earliest of 3 dates: invoice date, credit date, and recording date. Okay. In case of service, it is always important whether invoice was issued within 30 days or after 30 days. If it is within 30 days, then again time of supply will be same, earliest of 3 dates: invoice date, credit date, and recording date. But if the invoice was issued after 30 days, right, then the rule is not followed. So 3 dates will be provision of service, credit date, and recording date. Very clear now? No confusion now?
Sir,
Huh.
so what to do in case if we have both goods and services?
Doesn't matter. In case of both goods and services, billing will be different. For goods, it will be different. For services, it will be different. And if they are both provided under the same invoice, I'm going to teach that today. The difference between composite supply and mixed supply. That I'm going to teach today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So for example, I am providing goods as well as I am providing services. Okay. And I am making only one invoice. Then I have to categorize it either as a composite supply or mixed supply. And then I'll tell you which rate to take. Okay. And which date to take. That is another concept we will learn today. Okay. Any other doubt, guys? Any other doubt? All right. Let us go on to the next thing then. So normal charge is pretty clear now. Everyone, normal charge is pretty clear. For forward charge. Time of supply under forward charge is done. Huh? Now let us look at time of supply under reverse charge. Let us look at the time of supply under the reverse charge. Okay. Reverse charge means supplier is unregistered, customer is registered. Okay. Reverse than normal thing. Generally suppliers are registered, but in this case supplier is unregistered and the customer is registered. I had taken an example yesterday. Infosys company is taking plumbing services from a local plumber. So Infosys is the customer over here, which is a registered company, and the local plumber is an unregistered supplier. So in that case, it's a reverse charge. So customer will pay GST directly to the government. Okay. So now time of supply. We are looking at time of supply. Again, the same thing in case of goods. So time of supply in case of goods will be different. And time of supply in case of services will be different. Okay. So here time of supply will be earliest of, write it down, will be earliest of number 1. Now guys, pay attention. Now we are thinking from customer's point of view, because customer is the person who is going to pay GST directly to the government. So here we are thinking from customer's point of view. So date of receipt of goods. Okay. Number 2, date of payment, date on which we have made the payment, date of payment. And third will be 31st day from date of issue of bill by the unregistered supplier. Because now we cannot call it as invoice, right? Unregistered supplier cannot provide us an invoice. He does not have a GST number. So he gives us a kacha bill. Okay, he gives us a temporary bill. So the 3 dates in this case will be, time of supply will be earliest of the 3 dates. We are thinking from customer's point of view. We are thinking from Infosys point of view, not from the plumber's point of view. Huh? From our example. So date of receipt of goods, date of payment by the customer, right? Customer. And 31st day from date of issue of bill by the unregistered supplier. Whichever is the earliest date, that I'll take as time of supply. And I'll pay GST directly to the government as on that day's rate. The 3 dates are clear? The dates are different. In reverse charge, the dates were different. In normal charge, the dates were different. In reverse charge, the dates are different. So date of receipt of goods, date of payment by the customer, and 31st day from date of issue of bill by the unregistered supplier. Okay, next. Time of supply in case of services will be earliest of the following. Earliest of the following. Okay. So here, number one, date of payment by the customer. Okay. And number two, since it is service, 61st day from date of issue of bill by the unregistered supplier. Okay, doubt is there. Normal charge and forward charge, is it same? Yes. Yes. Normal charge is also called as forward charge. Normal charge is also called as forward charge. And right now we are looking at reverse charge. So only two cases. Reverse charge simple, only two cases. If it is goods, if it is services. And we are thinking from customer's point of view. That's why we are taking date of receipt of goods, date of payment, and 31st day. And in case of services, it is even easier, date of payment or 61st day, whichever is earlier. Done, written down. Have you written this down, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us do one question. What are we learning?
Time of supply.
Time of supply. Why is time of supply important?
Because the GST rate depends on the time.
Correct, because the GST rate depends on the time. All right, let us do this question. Huh? All right. So two different questions. Let us just see the first one. Let us see the first one. Determine time of supply in the following cases, assuming that GST is payable under reverse charge. Okay, determine the time of supply in the following cases. Three different cases are given. Huh? Three different cases are given. Okay. And the question one, the first table is only for reverse charge, and that too for goods. So simple. What will it be? So date of payment by the recipient, date of receipt of goods. And instead of date of issue, which date should I take? So receipt date, correct, payment date, and in case of goods, what is the third date? What happened? In case of goods, in reverse
31st.
charge, 31st day from invoice, na? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in the first case, receipt date is given July 1, July 1. Payment date is also given August 1, August 1. And issue of invoice is 29th June. So 31st day from invoice. Calculate the 31st day. So June 29 to July 29, 30 days. Correct? And July 30th July will be your last day. 31st day, correct? So which is the earliest? Earliest is July 1. Simple.
So how did you get that payment date August 1?
It is given in the question. Oh, sorry, August 10. Sorry. My bad. August 10. I read it as August 1. Sorry. Are it's August 10. Still, it's showing August 01. Okay, I think it is. I'll just write it like this: July 1st. Okay, August 10th, because Excel, I think Excel considers it as, if I write August 10th, it considers August 10th of 2001 for some reason. And here July 30th. Okay. So the earliest of these three is July 1st. Simple.
So what's the invoice date here?
Invoice date is given now, June 29. Date of issue of invoice by the supplier of goods is 29th June. So what is my third date? My third date is 31st day from issue of invoice. So from June 29, I have calculated exactly 31 days. Got it? Okay, so the doubt is, but unregistered supplier cannot issue invoice, right? So see, sometimes they call it as an invoice. It is a bill, but they call it as an invoice. Okay. So we will take bill date or invoice date. That's okay. Okay. That's okay. But while writing answers, we will be specific. Huh? While writing the answers, we will be specific. For unregistered supplier, we'll always write, or you can write invoice and tax invoice. That is even a better way to write it. Invoice can be issued by anyone. Tax invoice can be issued only by a registered dealer. So kacha bill and pakka bill. Kacha bill will call it as invoice and pakka bill will call it as tax invoice. All right. Okay, done. Next. Do the next one, guys. Do the next one then. Date of receipt of goods is 1st July. Date of payment is June 25th and invoice is June 29th. So this will be July 1st, right? June 25th, and this will be again 31st day. So July 30th. So which is the earliest? June 25th is the earliest. That will be time of supply in the second case. Okay. And then third case, what is the problem in the third case? Tell me.
Two dates of supply.
Correct. When there are two payments, then I'll always calculate first installment and second installment. So first installment, July 1st. Okay. Part payment made on June 30. So June 30th. June 30th. And this is July 30th. And this third date will be 31st day from June 29. So again, July 30th. Correct. So in the first installment, June 30th is the earliest date. And in the second installment, it will be July 1, July 20, and July 30th. Correct. So earliest is July 1st. Earliest is July 1st. Okay. So for first installment, time of supply will be different. For second installment, time of supply will be different. Whenever there are two installments, always write time of supply in two different installments. Okay. This was for reverse charge in case of goods. Huh? This was for reverse charge in case of goods. We take three dates: date of receipt of goods, date of payment by the customer, and 31st day from issue of invoice. Is this example clear? Yes or no? All right, chalo, next. I hope this is not confusing now. Is it still confusing, guys? Or is it clear? Okay, okay. Try the next one then. Try the next one. Determine time of supply in the following cases, assuming that GST is payable under reverse charge and now it is service. It is service. So for service, time of supply is earliest of only 2 dates. Earliest of which 2 dates, guys? Tell me.
The date of payment
The
by
date of
customer.
payment.
And what is the second one?
61st
61
day.
days.
61st day from issue of invoice. Correct. So in the first case, August 10 is the date of payment, correct? And from June 29, 61st day will be which day? July 29 is 30 days, correct? July 29 is 30 days. August 28 will be 60 days, because July has 31 days. Correct. And August 29th will be the 61st day. See if this is correct. Just check. When we get 30 days, it will give us July 29. July 29 plus 30 day will give us August 28th. And then 61st day will be August 29th. Okay. Be careful of the month given. If it is February, you will have to actually calculate 61 days then from February, because February has only 28 days. Don't take 2 months, guys. Don't take 2 months. You have to actually calculate 31st day and 61st day, because it is the rule of GST. So in the first case, August 10 is the earliest date. Now in the second case, August 10 or what is this now? June 1, July 1, then 31st July and August 1. Correct. So earliest date is 1st August. Earlier date is 1st August. Correct. And in the third case, again, it's first installment and second installment. So first installment part payment was made on June 30th. So June 30th. And here it will be August 29th. And for second installment, it is September 1st and August 29th. August 29th. So in this case, this is the date of time of supply and this is the time of supply. All right. See if this is clear, guys. Just check. See if you understood all the questions, all the type of questions that we have solved. For normal charge, we have done separate question. For reverse charge, we have done separate questions. For normal charge, goods is separate, services is separate. And then in services also 2 parts are there: invoice within 30 days and invoice after 30 days. And then for reverse charge, there are only 2 concepts: goods and services. All right. Everything clear now? Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt in calculations? Or yes or no? What is happening, guys? Is it confusing or is it getting clear? It's clear.
All clear.
Okay, chalo. Now there is an amendment. What do you mean by amendment? Amendment means new rules. Okay. Every year in GST, every year there will be amendment. Okay. There will be new rules. Okay. and those new rules also we have to do. So this is not very new. This is not for 2022. Okay, it was introduced earlier, but for your syllabus it's new. So amendment in time of supply. Okay, in time of supply. Okay, time of supply in case of vouchers. In case of vouchers. What do you mean by voucher? What is a voucher? Arey, you guys don't know what is a voucher? Tell me.
So bill receipts.
No. Vouchers in case of normal voucher, the company will give a voucher. Then you can take that voucher and redeem the voucher later on. Instead of making the payment, you can take a voucher and redeem the voucher.
So
Na?
similar to coupons.
Right, similar to coupons. It's similar to coupons. Similar to coupons. Okay. For example, college has given you a voucher that since you attended all the lectures regularly, we are giving you a voucher of 1,000 rupees. Okay, and that 1,000 rupees voucher is for, let us say, Amazon ka 1,000 rupees ka voucher. Okay, then the college has issued you a voucher. You will have that voucher, and when you will redeem the voucher, that will be different case. And when you will get goods or services will be again different case. Correct? So that's why voucher does not get included in goods or services. Okay, voucher does not get included in goods or services. It has separate rules. Understood what is the meaning of voucher? Make my trip voucher. Okay, someone has given you a make my trip voucher worth 2,000 rupees. Now you are booking airline ticket. You are booking airline ticket, and this voucher you can redeem against airlines. Okay, so airline ticket was 5,000 and you had a voucher of 2,000. So now you are paying through voucher. 2,000 rupees you are paying through voucher, and 3,000 rupees is your normal charge, is your forward charge. See if this example is clear.
Sir, sir, if it is not included under goods and services, then GST won't be applied, right?
But voucher, I am taking the voucher for goods and service only, na? I took this example of make my trip. I am booking airline tickets. So is it goods or services? Services, right? Airlines booking an airline ticket is a service. But instead of making actual payments, how am I making the payment? I am making the payment through voucher. I am making the payment through voucher. Okay. The problem with voucher is voucher can have expiration date of 1 year also, na? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Then which date out of the 1 year we have to take? That is confusing. That's why government has given separate rule for time of supply in case of vouchers. All right. Now clear now why vouchers we are taking? It is very easy. It is very easy. So voucher will also have two cases. First category. Now see here, we are almost have 6 categories of time of supply now. 7 categories of time of supply. And second category. Okay, so let us see the first category. Very easy, very easy. Voucher is very easy. So first category says supply is identifiable at the time of issue of voucher. Supply is identifiable at the time of issue of voucher. Okay. And second category will be what? Exactly opposite. Supply is not identifiable at time of voucher. Supply is not identifiable at the time of voucher. What do you mean supply is identifiable and supply is not identifiable? Can anyone tell me? I'll take an example. I'll take an example. Let us say Amazon voucher you have received. Okay. So let us say your company, your employer has given Amazon voucher worth 5,000 rupees. Okay, I think someone is saying
The
date of-
vouchers expire also, right?
okay, that we'll see. Devanshi is saying date of redemption known, date of redemption not known. Okay. See, that is different case, huh? Date of redemption is different and supply is identifiable, that is different. So your company has given you a voucher. Your company has given you, Amazon voucher. I wanted to write Amazon voucher worth 5,000 rupees, and the voucher specifically says, that this voucher can be utilized only for purchase of electronic items. Now, is the supply identifiable at the time of issue of voucher? Do we know exactly for what purpose I am going to use this voucher? Do we know this?
Yes, sir.
Correct, because I am going to utilize it only for purchase of electronic items. Na? I'm going to use it only for purchase of electronic items, right? So here what is happening? Here supply. So we know supply will be of obviously it will be of electronic items. Correct? Supply will be of only electronic items, right? And therefore supply is identifiable. Supply is identifiable. So if you understood, correct, good. The second example Devanshu is saying, so is it like you get a coupon of Big Bazaar and don't know what will be bought? So that will be in second category. You are getting a coupon of Big Bazaar and you don't know what you are going to purchase. So in that case, supply is not identifiable at the time of issue of voucher. Good. We will take your example only. Okay. A coupon of Big Bazaar. Right. Example. Here I'll write the example. A coupon of Big Bazaar was issued. Okay. And the customer does not know. And customer doesn't know what will be bought. That will be supply is not identifiable at the time of voucher. Easy. So this Big Bazaar coupon can be used for anything. This Big Bazaar coupon can be used for anything. Okay. So here what is happening? Here supply is not identifiable. Supply is not identifiable. Understood both categories, guys? Just check if you understood the concept.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Time of supply here now it is very logical. Huh? Since supply was identifiable at the time of issue of voucher only. At the time of issue of voucher only, we know what will be the supply. Correct? So that's why time of supply will be date of issue of voucher. Done. Simple. Only one date. Date of issue of voucher. That's it. And it is very logical, na? Because it was identifiable at the time of issue. So we know for what purpose we are going to use. And generally your date will also be known. Huh? Generally, I'm saying generally, date is also known. Expiry date is also known. Okay. But that is not our criteria. Our criteria is supply should be identifiable. That is the criteria. All right. Even if they have not mentioned anything about date, you still know it is the first category. So time of supply will be date of issue of voucher. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now second. Supply is not identifiable at the time of voucher. So you just have a voucher amount. You don't know what it will be used for. Okay. You generally also don't know the date. So here supply is not identifiable. So time of supply will be the date of redemption of voucher. The date on which you have actually used the voucher. Redemption means actual usage of voucher against payment. Against payment. Date of redemption of voucher. Done? Clear? So only one date. Then here time of supply is, that concept is not there. Huh? Earliest of the following dates, that concept is not there in time of supply in this case. All cases of time of supply understood now. When you have all cases in front of you, it might get a bit confusing. Huh? So what you guys will do today is you guys will prepare a chart and send it to me. I am not giving the chart of time of supply. Huh? Will you guys do it? Okay, I'll just give a hint how you want to prepare a chart, time of supply. Okay, I'll take first category, forward charge, normal / forward charge. Okay, second category is reverse charge, and third category is vouchers. Third category is vouchers. Okay, normal charge, there will be two concepts. A is for goods, B is for services, right? But in services we have two subcategories: invoice issued within 30 days and invoice issued after 30 days. Invoice issued after 30 days. Then reverse charge also we have two categories: goods and services. Okay, and vouchers also we have two categories: supply identifiable and supply not identifiable. Clear? I'll share this Excel sheet, don't worry. Tongyung, I'll share this Excel sheet, don't worry. Yesterday's Excel sheet and today's Excel sheet, both I'll share. All right. So this will be your whole time of supply. This will be your whole concept of time of supply. Done. Finish. Time of supply concept. The whole chapter of time of supply is done now. Okay. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt in time of supply? You will have to learn this, huh? You'll have to learn this, and it is very easy. It is not that the dates are very confusing. It is logical. It is quite logical. So you guys can learn it. Okay. Let us do the next part now. Let us do the next part. Now I want to teach you different types of supplies. Different types of supplies. So these are included under definitions. Huh? These are included under definitions. Okay. Composite supply, mixed supply. That will be one thing. And then imports is also one kind of a supply, right? Import is also one kind of supply. So we have discussed a little bit about imports. So for example, which GST does import attract, guys? Which taxes does import attract?
So customs, that is BCD and IGST.
Correct. BCD and IGST. Na? So we have discussed a little bit about that, but today we'll discuss more about imports. We'll discuss about composite supply. We'll discuss about mixed supply. Okay. So these are different types of supplies. This will come under definitions. They might ask you to differentiate between composite supply and mixed supply. Okay. Or they will ask you for section A objective type questions. Okay. Right. So now let us start. Very easy concept. Composite supply. Some concepts are very easy, guys. Very scoring. And mixed supply. Composite supply and mixed supply. Have you read this before anywhere? Anyone knows? Okay. Let us see then. So composite supply means two or more goods are supplied together and these goods are bundled together as part of same type of goods. I'll give an example. Just reading the definition does not make sense. Huh? Reading the definition sometimes does not make sense in act. So always remember by way of example. For each concept, I am giving example, guys. So even if while in the exam, if you want to explain something, you guys don't understand how to explain, you guys can use examples also to explain. Using definition in tax, using definition is required, okay? But worst case scenario, if you don't remember the definition, okay, you don't remember the specific terms, then you can use an example to explain. Okay, so composite supply means two or more goods are supplied together and these goods are bundled together. So actually the definition says naturally bundled together, but I'm not using the word naturally because then it gets confusing. Then you only think about natural commodities, right? Okay, so someone is saying composite supply includes product and its packaging. Almost, right? That is correct. Okay, so this is supplied together and these goods are bundled together as part of same type of goods. A simple example I can give. Example, company is selling laptop and laptop bag. Company is selling laptop and laptop bag. Like phone and charger. See, phone and charger, that depends. Generally, charger is part of your phone. Okay, so phone and charger, sometimes it will be composite supply, depends on the company. It depends on the company. Okay, so one good and the second is almost a necessity for that other goods. So phone and charger might, it will come under composite supply, right? It will come under composite supply. So laptop and laptop bag, right? Then phone, let us take this example also, phone and charger. Okay, so company is selling this, right? So what is happening? Company can sell them individually also. Laptop can be sold individually, laptop bag can be sold individually, but they are combining two goods together and they are selling it as same type of goods. They are selling it as same type of goods, right? So that is a composite supply. That is a composite supply. Now see, the laptop GST rate, I am taking a hypothetical example. Laptop GST rate is 18% and laptop bag GST rate is, let us say, 14%. It's 14%. And since it is a composite supply, since it is a composite supply, right? One single invoice has been made. One single invoice has been made. Okay, which shows laptop rupees 70,000. Okay, and laptop bag 1,000. So total invoice value, taxable value is 71,000. 71,000. Okay, now on that I want to levy GST. GST at what rate? What rate GST should I charge? Should I charge separate GST or should I charge one single GST?
So one single GST.
One single GST. Yes, Alina, you are right. Principal and supporting goods. It is like principal goods and the goods supporting the principal goods. Correct. Okay. So which GST rate? In this case, GST of laptop is 18%. Laptop bag is 14%. So what do you think is the principal supply over here?
So laptop.
Obviously laptop. You don't go to buy laptop bag and get laptop for free, na? You go to buy laptop and then you are given as laptop bag, right? So the principal supply GST rate will be the rate of the principal supply. The rate of the principal supply, not the rate of the supporting goods. So only one invoice will be prepared. In case of composite supply, we are supplying two or more different types of goods. The goods are different, but we are supplying them together. We are bundling them together and supplying them together. One is a main good, one is a principal good, and the other is a secondary good or supporting good. So primary goods and secondary goods. So GST rate for one single invoice, 71,000, will be charged directly at 18%. Don't think about higher rate and lower rate. It can also be like this. GST for laptop is 14% and laptop bag is, let us say, 18%. Hypothetical example. Hypothetical example. Laptop is 14%, laptop bag is 18%. Here, what rate of GST will be charged?
So 14%.
14%. In this example, it will be 14%. So always take the rate of principal supply. Always take the rate of principal supply. No concept of higher or lower over here. Huh? If this is clear. Composite supply, is it clear, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, next. Mixed supply, again the same thing. Two or more goods are supplied together. Okay. But they are all of similar, what I can say, type, similar amount, and similar value. Okay. Packaged together and sold. Okay, so generally we sell them separately. But now for some reason company has packaged them together and sold. They are not naturally bundled together. Like primary supply and secondary supply. So this was primary supply and secondary supply. Sorry, primary goods and secondary goods. Right. Shampoo and conditioner can be example. Diwali gift hampers of chocolates can be example. Good. Right. So let us say example is a guy gifts his girlfriend hamper, okay, which contains I will say shampoo, then conditioner, then eyeliner, okay, other beauty products. I don't know what you girls use nowadays, right? So guy gives his girlfriend hampers which contains these 3-4 things. Okay, doubt is phone and charger come in mixed supply? No. Phone and charger will not come under mixed supply. Okay, phone and charger will be primary supply, primary goods and secondary goods. So that's why phone and charger I have written the example in composite supply. Okay, right. So now let us say shampoo value is 1000, not 1000. Let us say shampoo value is 500, conditioner value is 200, eyeliner is whatever, I don't know the values, and this is 3000. Beauty products is 3000. Okay, and the rates are, the GST rates are this is 12%. I'm taking hypothetical rates, 12%, then 14%, okay, then 18% and 28%. Or we can take this is at 18% and let us say this is at 28%. Okay, single invoice is made. So invoice is made as the total of all of these. Okay, and now the supplier wants to charge GST rate. So what will be the GST rate? Which rate should I take?
So is it the highest one?
Right, I'll take highest rate, not the rate of the highest value, not the rate of the highest value. I'll take the highest rate. So highest rate here is what? Highest rate is 28%. Okay, so this will be 3800 into 28% will be your GST. Okay, there's a doubt. Basically, composite supply has the principle like one good is complementing other, or rather making the combination usable. You can say that. So it's complementary goods, right? You can say that they are complementary to each other. Laptop and laptop bag, they are complementary to each other. Okay, and mixed supply, there was no need to sell them together, right? They could have been sold separately. but just for some purpose, from the point of view of packaging, they are put together. Okay, so like this, in this hamper, there is no primary goods and secondary goods. Now, all of similar type, all are of almost similar values. They are just packaged together. They are just packaged together. Okay. So that's why it becomes a mixed supply. And that's why phone and charger is not mixed supply. Phone and charger is composite supply because they are complementary to each other. All right, clear? See if these examples are clear, guys. Composite supply and mixed supply. Okay, so the problem was which GST rate should I take? Once I know the value, which GST rate should I take? So for that, we again bifurcated our supplies into composite and mixed. We bifurcated between composite and mixed. All right, done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. So these two definitions are done. Composite and mixed supply definitions are done. Okay, so in the exam, they can directly ask you what is the difference between composite and mixed supply. Okay, 4 marks. Or they can ask you this, that this was the supply, these were the rates, right? What should be the GST rate applicable on the above transaction? Or you can get this example. So answering this question, you will have to first answer that whether it's a composite supply or whether it's a mixed supply. Okay, done. So next. Now let us talk about imports. So supply from outside India. Okay, imports and deemed imports. Okay, imports and deemed imports. That's the second definition we'll do today. First was what? First was composite supply and mixed supply. Okay, so I'll write over here composite supply and mixed supply. Okay, and second one we'll do is imports and deemed. Deemed, what do you mean by deemed?
So presumed.
Presumed to be import. It is not actually import, but it is treated as import under the act. It is treated as import under the act. All right, let us see now. What do you mean by import? Import is supply from outside India, like I written over here. Supply from outside of India. My supplier place of business. So it means the place of business of the supplier is outside India. And now you guys know what is the definition of India. You guys know what is the definition of India. India means, tell me.
All the air,
land.
airspace.
Correct. India means all states and union territories, including land and territorial water up to 12 nautical miles. Right. So your supplier's place of business is outside this territory, right? Outside the taxable territory. So that in that case, it has become an import. Okay. Now there are 4 categories of import. This is a bit important, guys. 4 categories of import. Let us see when it will be a taxable supply and when it will be not a taxable supply. Okay. So category. So I'll write a category and I'll write whether amounts to supply or not. Whether amounts to supply or not under GST. This is very important. This can come under different types of import. They will give 4 or 5 different types of imports and they will ask you which transactions are covered under the GST Act. Which transactions are covered under the GST Act. Okay, let us do it then. Let us do it. So import. So first category is normal imports. Normal imports, that is imports with consideration. With consideration in course of business. I'll say in course of business. So you guys tell me, this is a normal case. Normal imports, we have imported and we have paid consideration. We have not imported for free. We have imported and we have paid the consideration, and it is in course of business. So all, now guys pay attention, all conditions of supply are satisfied.
Yes, sir.
Correct. It is for consideration. It is in the course of business, right? So this will be treated as supply, correct? And BCD and IGST will be charged. Charged on the amount of consideration, on amount of consideration, right? Whatever amount we have paid, on that amount there will be GST. Easy. This is a normal imports case. Is this clear? In normal course of business, like you are a customer, you have imported something from USA, you pay the entire amount, and it is in course of the business. You need that goods for the furtherance of your business. Okay, so this will be treated as a normal supply, and we will charge BCD and IGST on the amount of consideration. So first case is easy. Now second case becomes important. It is imports, okay, with consideration, but it is not for furtherance of business. Not for furtherance of business. Will this amount to supply? Imports, I'm paying for the imports. I'm paying for the imports, but it is not for the furtherance of my business. What will happen? Is it a supply?
No, sir.
Why not?
All the 6 conditions are not satisfied.
Correct. One of the conditions says it should be for the furtherance of my business, right? Now guys, pay attention. Even if it is not for furtherance of business, okay, still government is considering this as supply, correct? Why? Because government wants to reduce imports, right? Government wants to reduce imports. So if this is considered as supply, GST, that is BCD and IGST, will be charged, and the import value will increase because government wants to reduce the imports, right? So government is charging again the same thing, BCD and IGST on this, even if it's not for furtherance of business. Even if a condition is not satisfied, this import will still fall under supply, and still BCD and IGST will be levied, because government does not want people to import more. Is this clear? Second category of import. Now third category is again important. So see guys, I am giving you 4 types of imports. I'll say types of imports. Instead of category, I'll say 4 types of imports. There are 4 types of imports, and we have to just check whether it is amounting to import and whether government is going to charge BCD and IGST. Okay. Now the third example is import is without consideration. Import is without consideration. Okay. But it is to a related person for furtherance of business. Import is without consideration, right? So my uncle has sent me goods, and I am using those goods for furtherance of business, but he is not charging me any amount. Okay, example, Mr. A got goods from his uncle in USA, Mr. A of India got goods from his uncle who is situated in USA. Okay. I'll say located in USA, not situated. Located in USA. Okay. And these goods are used for furtherance of business. Are used for furtherance of business of Mr. A. Of Mr. A. Now, should GST be? Is this a supply and should GST be charged?
So it's a supply.
It is still a supply, but it is not for consideration. There is no consideration. Then.
So, but it's a related party, no? So they can
Correct.
tax
Good.
evasion.
Correct. Now see, since this is from related person, right? From a related person, government assumes it must be for tax evasion. Okay. So even if it is without consideration, this is as a gift, huh? The uncle has sent the goods for free. So even if it is without consideration, government will still charge BCD and IGST. But on what amount? It is for free, na? So taxable value is 0. So on what amount?
Market price.
Perfect. Market value of goods.
So market value means
generally, see, if he had not got it from his uncle, he had got it from a registered person in USA. For what amount he would have got? The same amount is considered as the market value of goods. As if it is not from a related person. We will calculate what is the market value. Is this example clear, guys? So Mr. A got goods for free from his uncle located in USA, and these goods are used for the furtherance of business of Mr. A. Okay. So furtherance of business is there. Okay. But he has got it for free. But still, government will say it is from a related person. So government is assuming this must be for tax evasion, right? And they will say, let us calculate the market value of these goods as if you had purchased it from a non-related person. And then we will charge BCD and IGST on that. Is this clear? Yes or no?
So basically all these are types of exceptions.
Yes, these are types of. So normal imports is not an exception, na? Normal import is anyway is going to be charged under GST, right?
Yes, so the
Because
second and third one.
Second and third are exceptions. That even if it is not for furtherance of business, still it is considered as supply and still it is charged under GST. Third
So,
one
sir,
was
those
go
two
ahead.
basically are deemed
Sorry?
deemed supply. Those two, the second and third,
Correct.
are
Second and
basically
third
deemed
will
supply.
be deemed supply, but they will not be deemed imports. They will be deemed supplies. They are actually imports only. Just a second, guys. My battery is running low. Okay. So all these three types are imports. First is normal supply. This would have been charged anyway because it is for consideration and it is for furtherance of business. Correct. The second one was for consideration, but it was not for furtherance of business. Correct. But still it is considered as supply. Third one was for furtherance of business. Okay. But it was without consideration. Guys, pay attention, without consideration, but it is from a related person. Okay. So still it will be supply. Okay. So doubt is, sir, what if it is an import of alcohol? Alcohol does not fall under GST. Same logic. Alcohol does not fall under the concept of GST. So Vishal is tensed. If I'm going to import alcohol, what will happen? isn't it? Duty free. Okay. All right. And then all other imports, no supply. No supply, no GST. No supply, no GST. Customs might be there, huh? Customs might be there. GST is not there. For all other imports, customs might be there, but GST will definitely not be there. Okay, customs may or may not be applicable, but we are for sure that for all other types of imports, GST is not going to be there. See if this is clear, everyone. Have you understood all types of imports? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Then what is a deemed import? So fifth category also I'll write deemed import. I'll not write in fifth category. I'll just write separately. Deemed import. It is not actually an import, but it is treated as an import. Okay. It is not actually an import. Okay. But it is treated like an import. Does it happen in India? Do you guys know any case like this? It was supplied from one Indian city to another Indian city or within the same city. Okay, but still it is treated like an import. Is it a theoretical concept or does it happen in real life also? Example. Mr. A is located in Pune. Mr. A is located in Pune. Okay. He's a registered customer. He is a registered customer. Okay. And Mr. B is located outside Pune in Chakan area. Why I'm specifically saying Chakan? Tell me.
Industrial.
Not industrial area. It is a special economic zone. Industrial area is a normal area. Okay. Special economic zone is different. It is called as SEZ. SEZ. SEZ, special economic zone.
But sir, Chakan is under Pune district only, no?
It is under Pune district only. So I'm just saying that outskirts of Pune is located in Chakan. Okay. Chakan area. So inside Pune, outside Pune does not matter. Inside Pune, outside Pune does not matter. It matters that is it in normal area or is it in special economic zone. Okay. So now here Mr. B is supplying goods to Mr. A. Correct. So this will be treated as deemed import because special economic zone has special rights. Okay, special economic zone has more benefits and your normal area is called as domestic tariff area. Normal area is called as domestic tariff area, DTA. Okay, so if I am purchasing goods from special economic zone, right, then it will be treated as deemed import. And now again it will attract what? It will attract BCD and IGST. It is not even interstate, guys. It is not even interstate. It is intrastate. Still, no CGST, SGST. It will attract BCD and IGST. See if this example is clear. The Zoom is hanged or what? Am I audible, guys?
Yes,
Once
sir.
again repeat it.
Okay, I'll repeat once again. Mr. A is located in Pune, which is a normal area, also called as domestic tariff area. Domestic tariff area. Okay. In tax, we don't call it as normal area. Okay, we call it as domestic tariff area, and he is a registered dealer. Mr. B is also a registered dealer. Mr. B is also registered dealer. But the problem is that he is located in Chakan area, which is a special economic zone, right? So now, even though this is intrastate, this is within the same state, almost within the same city, still we are going to call it as deemed import. Why? The reason is that special economic zone has many tax benefits, okay, and domestic tariff area has very less tax benefit. So if you are getting goods from an area with tax benefits, you will have to pay additional taxes. Is this clear? Deemed import.
So, sir,
Yes,
if
sir.
the opposite happens, like
It will
if
be
the
deemed
export-
export. If Mr. A of Pune sells goods to Mr. B of special economic zone, it will be
so no
considered as
tax for them.
no tax, right? No tax, deemed export. Because government want to encourage people to give more to special economic zones. Clear? All concepts done of today. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. So today we have covered types of supply, time of supply, entire thing. Then we have covered composite supply and mixed supply. We have covered imports and deemed imports. And also we have revised about our registration concept. Done. Any doubt in today's session, guys? Any doubt? You guys will make that this thing, chart of entire time of supply, and you guys will send me the chart. Okay. All right. Tomorrow, what we'll do? Tomorrow, I am going to start with a very important topic: input tax credit, ITC. Don't miss tomorrow's lecture. I'm going to start
Tomorrow also 4:30, right?
Tomorrow, is there any objective from 4 to 4:30?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll take 4:30 to 6 tomorrow. 4:30 to 6. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. And do you guys need extra questions for home practice, guys? Do you need extra questions for home practice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I
So-
send that.
Actually, we are going to get a question bank from college.
We'll
So
solve
once we get it, we'll share it with you, so you can solve it
we'll solve
together.
that entire question bank together
Yes, sir.
with final answers. Okay, with final answers. All right, no problem. Okay, so the next doubt is the primary reason that GST is not charged on alcohol because it's major part of state's revenue? Yes. Because all the states say that we don't want it to be charged under GST because we have our internal state revenues. Same goes with petrol, na? Gargi, same goes with petroleum. People say that alcohol and petroleum, let it be state revenue. Let it be under state revenue. We don't want center's interference under that. Okay. Please share the Excel notes. Yes, I'll share yesterday's and today's Excel note. Both I'll share. Okay. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Have I missed out any doubt? If I have missed out on explaining any doubt, you can ask me again. Recording also I'll share. Yes, recording also I will share. So registration recording separately I'll give, and time of supply recording separately I'll give. Okay. Done. Should we conclude today's session then? All right. So let's meet tomorrow 4:30. Huh? Tomorrow we'll meet at 4:30.
Yes, sir.
Registration is not complete. Registration entire chapter is not complete. Huh? I have explained registration just for the sake of you guys to understand forward charge and reverse charge. Huh? So I had started with registration basic concept. How to get yourself registered? What are the forms of registration? Who are the people who need to compulsorily get themselves registered. That is remaining. Okay, that part is remaining. That will do. We can start with that tomorrow, and then we'll continue it ITC tomorrow. We can do that. Okay. All right. Chalo. Done. Done then. Let's
Thank
meet
you,
tomorrow.
sir.
I'll end the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no problem. Why is this meeting not ending?